Peace and love, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back to Read and Learn with T. Marie. You know that's me. And back with another reading of the Holy Bible today. And we are still continuing on with the fourth book of Moses called Numbers. And previous video, I read chapters 21 and 22. And just learned some interesting things in those chapters. Um, let's see, quick recap here. Chapter 20, pretty much like the the point that I'm getting in these couple of chapters is that the Israelites want all the smoke. God is sending Israelites to, catch them all like they're Pokemon balls, okay? Because the Israelites are outside and they are taking over everything that they come across, all in God's grace. Let's see, in chapter 20, the Israelites, they had their journey through the wilderness, and also while I say the Israelites, they're taking over everything, we're also losing a lot of Israelites too because of just their ungratefulness and the complaints and everything that they're doing. They're traveling through the wilderness. They're hungry, they're thirsty, and they're tired, boss. They are tired, boss. But anyway, they're on this wilderness. They during this journey, like they have victory over the Canaanites, and I think they changed the name. They changed the name of the place to Hormah. So they had victory through all of their struggles. They had some victory in the game, even though like people lost their lives through this victory. And they had victory, and so they're hungry, they're complaining, and so with all these complaints, God's just like, look, I don't want to hear any of this. You know what? He put the snakes on him. He put the serpents on him. And a lot of the Israelites didn't make it. So Moses, of course, is like, oh my gosh, how can I get my people out of this? So he prayed for them, and he saved the way he was able to save. God told him that he had to put like a brass or a bronze serpent onto a pole. So the serpent had to slide down that pole, and only the ones who survived of the Israelites were the Israelites who got bitten, who originally got bitten by the serpents on the floor. If they got bitten and they looked into the bronze snake that Moses had, they get to live. If not, if they don't look at it, they lost out. They missed it. They missed the train. They didn't get on the train on time, on the serpent train on time. So we lost a lot of Israelites due to them complaining, which is it's pretty sad. It's a sad situation, but God's like, come on, man, we are all in this together. I think what God's message is in that we're all in this together. We're all sticking with this together. Let's just make it. Let's just make it without the complaints. But when people get hungry, stuff gets ugly. Even today in real life, we're in this situation today with our foods. We don't know what is safe to eat. We don't know what to eat, or we don't know what we're doing. So it can be a matter of time where we become back to the same situation that these poor Israelites were in. And so, that's just a lesson learned. We just need to take things one day at a time, try to compromise, and just do the right thing without complaints, because God gives us the strength to make it through the obstacles that we're put through. I think that's what the moral of that thing is that God did with the servants. It's just like, have patience. It teaches patience. It teaches, obedience, just get through what you need to get through. and you'll be rewarded afterwards, and they didn't understand that. So they got, and what else? There was more things that happened. I think, yeah, even after the Israelites, some of them Israelites died from the serpents, they came across, another opponent, I think it was the, let's see, let me just write. I'd be trying not to read my notes because I'd be trying to act like I'm smart, but I have these notes in front of me for a reason. But okay, yeah, they have a new conquest with the Amorites, um, the king of Bashan. So they are going through that. And then that was chapter 21. And then I guess in chapter 22, I guess this is a different because in 21 they got the conquest with the Amorites. Or wait, you know what? Hold on just a second, because I might be sounding just really, really dumb. There's a lot of times in my life where I really have to Google what things mean, okay? I am a very, very slow burner. I don't know if I was dropped on the head as a baby, as a kid sometimes, because sometimes your girl can be really, really on the short bus side of things. But you know what? That's why they call it special needs, because we are God's special children. I never went to special ed class or anything like that, but I do consider myself to be a little special from time to time. Let's see, in conquest, let's see. Yeah, okay, so I'm right. So they had the conquest, they're trying to take over the Amorites. I had to look up the definition for conquest, okay? But yeah, they came to take over the Amorites and whatnot. And then in chapter 22, um, I don't think this is a different conflict. They have a conflict between Balak, the Israelite, they start the beef with Balak, which Balak is the king of Moab, okay? So they are just like I said, they are taking over. They're going from town to town with their boots on the ground, and they're saying, give it up, give it here. God sent us to do this, and we're taking it over, whether you like it or not. And so they get to, they come across Balak, and I'm pretty sure Balak, and they were just minding their business. But I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't actually take notes on it, but I think that I read that, I think I did read that these people in Moab, that God sent them there because they once did something, to a previous person that God was very, had very, dear feelings for. I forget who it was. I'll have to come back to that. But there was a reason why God sent the Israelites to Moab to take over. It was, for revenge, I believe. And so they come across Balak, and Balak's like, yo, who sent these people? Where did y'all come from? Instant scare tactic, So Balak's like, man, I need some help here. So who does he call? This is what was very humorous to me, because I remember previous video when I was reading this chapter, I was more I was reading it just in a goofy way because they kept saying the ASS word a lot, and it was throwing me off. So I really wasn't paying attention to what was going on. But as I studied what was going on later, it tickled me. It tickled me to pieces. It made me think of Madagascar. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, is this where Madagascar got their script from? Because I did not know that the actual donkey, that the ass was talking to the guy. So anyway, Valak, he needs help, right? So he's like, I need some help. So he calls on the prophet Balaam. Balaam is the prophet. He's minding his business, and he calls Balaam to help out because it's just so many Israelites that he needs a unit on set to help. And I'm like, so you're calling you're looking for help from this guy. Meanwhile, this guy Balaam is on his donkey, right? Just riding, chilling on his donkey every day, abusing the poor donkey. The donkey's just getting abused left and right. I think he whipped that poor donkey about 3 times. That donkey was like, look, man, by the third whip, that's when the donkey started talking like, no, man, what are you doing? Why are you for? The donkey started talking to Balaam, and apparently the narrative is that God made the donkey talk. So it's like, okay, was that really what happened, or was Balaam just high on some shrooms? Was Balaam was he lighting some strange fire too somewhere? Because if it got him talking to donkeys, I don't know if Balak wants him to come help or if Balak wants Balaam to go over there to share that stuff. I don't know. I don't know. But Balaam is talking to donkeys, okay? And that's pretty much all I got from 22. I think that was all that happened in chapter 22. So, yeah, the donkey, we got talking donkeys. We got serpents. We got fiery serpents just being struck out of nowhere. And that's where we are. Those were those chapters. Those are some very interesting chapters for me. And it just it's just giggly. It's really funny. And what am I saying? Um, we're how come these things don't happen today? I want to see a talking donkey. Lord, please, can you show me a talking donkey like for real one day, even if it's in my dreams? Then I'll believe. I'll believe it. Until you really show me a talking donkey, I'm just gonna think that this is for play. Okay, no, I'm playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm taking the Bible seriously. Okay, I'm really taking these chapters seriously, guys. I don't want y'all thinking that I'm just reading this for fun and games. No, I really am, getting my knowledge into this. And and also I also want to inform you guys that after completing this, I want to study, I want to read more books. Like I want to read different religious factors. I want to read everybody's point of view on God. I want to kind of read them all and compare them and see if there's anything different, like if there's any changes based on the different religions, not, and I'm not reading these things to bounce and hop religions, because honestly, I can't necessarily say that I am honestly a religious person, because uh, I'm a firm believer of that our gods may be different. All of our gods may be different, but they see us all the same, no matter what you believe in, even if it's not a human figure or whatever. I mean, my phone, some especially nowadays, the world that we live in, these phones are people's gods. This is what they believe in. Their phone is their god, and they worship it. This table here can be my god. Is if I believe in this table, I'm gonna have full flesh belief in it. So I go into these things and into these readings just for the point of view of everything. But when it comes to religion, like Christianity, um, Muslim, Catholic, all of them, to me, it's all one. So that's why I don't, get into like what I just don't get into religion like that. I don't even know how to spit it out the way that I want to, but I think you guys know what I mean. Like I'm more spiritual than religious. You know, I am spiritual. I am not religious. I don't consider myself. I never considered myself to be religious, but I always just believe. I believe in what I believe in, and that's what it is. Okay. So hey, man, that's my morning rant. I went on for 15 minutes with that little rant, but yeah. So that's where we are in 21, 22. Those were the chapters, and I am going to continue on with chapter 23. Read a few chapters here, just get it settled and done with here. And I hope everybody is having a really good, blessed day today, staying centered, grounded, Hope y'all got something tasty to eat, whatever time frame you're watching, morning, afternoon, evening, That's why I like these little YouTube videos, because they're just there, they're there for whenever you want to watch it. They don't go away unless I delete them, and I don't plan on deleting nothing anytime soon. So, but yeah, all right. So we're continuing with chapter 23. All right, let's get started here. All right, 23, 23. All right. I'm gonna read the last couple of chapters of I'm sorry, last couple of verses from 22 real quick, just to so I can get straight in, like what do you call it? I can just transition to 23, if you will. All right. Verse 40 and 22. So, and Balak offered oxen and sheep and sent to Balaam and to the princes that were with him. And it came to pass on the morrow that Balak took Balaam and brought him up in the high places of Baal, that thence he might see the utmost part of the people. I wonder if Balaam and Balak are like related because their names sound alike. Okay, chapter 23. And Balaam said unto Balak, build me here 7 altars and prepare me here 7 oxen and 7 rams. Oh, wow. So Balaam just came in really needy, huh? You talk to donkeys, but you want this, that, and the third, huh? Let me start over. And Balaam said unto Balak, build me here 7 altars and prepare me here 7 oxen and 7 rams. Why? And Balak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered on every altar a bullock and a ram. And Balaam said unto Balak, stand by thy burnt offering, and I will go. Peradventure the Lord will come to meet me, and whatsoever he sheweth me, I will tell thee. And he went to a high place. He went to a high place. And God met Balaam, and he said unto him, I have prepared 7 altars, and I have offered upon every altar and a bullock and a ram. Okay, wait a minute. I'm confused a little bit. So, wait a minute. So God sent the Israelites to the king of Moab to start the conflict with Balaam or Balak. But now God meets with Balaam and he says, I have prepared 7 altars and I have altered upon every altar a bullock and a ram. And I remember in the previous chapter, God told Moses, like, don't hold on, let me just go back. I hope you guys don't mind, but there was a part there that here, let's see here, just a second. You may not be able to find what I'm talking about, but God told Moses, like, I sent them here for a reason. And that's when, he was talking about what these people did to somebody else, which I guess was that in the other chapter? Or but sorry guys, I should have been a little more prepared for this. Well, I mean, I guess I can't be prepared because I'm just reading this, but um, bear with me. I wish I had some whole music to play for you guys, but I don't. Maybe I should edit this video and play some whole music for you guys for this because oh well, maybe I just anyway, I'm not going to go there. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, anyway, let me just continue. That's kind of going to hurt my brain a little bit. Anyway, let me continue. Repeat. And God met Balaam, and he said unto him, I have prepared 7 altars, and I have offered upon every altar a bullock and a ram. And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth, and said, Return unto Balak, and thus thou shalt speak. And he returned unto him, and lo, he stood by his burnt sacrifice, he and all the princes of Moab. And he took up his parable and said, Balak the king of Moab hath brought me from Aram out of the mountains of the east, saying, Come curse me, Jacob, and come defy Israel. Oh wow. How shall I curse whom God hath not cursed? And how shall I defy whom the Lord hath not defied? From the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, and the number of the fourth part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his. And Balak said unto Balaam, What hast thou done unto me? I took these to curse mine enemies, and behold, thou hast blessed them altogether. And he answered and said, must I not take heed to speak that which the Lord hath put in my mouth? And Balak said unto him, Come, I pray thee, with me unto another place, from whence thou mayest see them. Thou shalt see but utmost part of them, and shall not see them all, and curse me them from thence. And he brought him into the fields of Zophim to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bullock and a ram on every altar. And he said unto Balak, Stand here by thy burnt offering, while I meet the Lord yonder. And the Lord met Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, Go again unto Balak, and say thus. And when he came to him, behold, he stood by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. And Balak said unto him, What hath the Lord spoken? And he took up his parable, and said, Rise up, Balak, and hear, hearken unto me, thou son of Zippor. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, or shall he not make it good? Behold, I have received commandment to bless, and he hath blessed and cannot reverse it. He hath not beheld in iniquity as Jacob, neither hath he seen perverse perversences in Israel. The Lord his God is with him, and the shout of a king is among him. God brought them out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time it shall be said of Jacob and Israel, What hath God wrought? And exclamation marks. Behold, the people shall rise up as a great lion, and lift up himself as a young lion. He shall not lie down until he eat of the prey, and drink the blood of the slain. And Balak said unto Balaam, Neither curse them all, nor bless them at all. But Balaam answered and said unto Balak, Told not I thee, saying all that the Lord speaketh, that I must do? And Balak said unto Balaam, Come, I pray thee, I will bring thee unto another place. Peradventure it will please God that thou mayest curse me from, oh, sorry, will please God that thou mayest curse me them from thence. And Balak brought Balaam unto the top of Peor, that looketh toward Jeshimon. And Balaam said unto Balak, Build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 bullocks and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bullock and a ram on every altar. Okay, that's chapter 23. It sounds like Moses is being taken over. Moses and Aaron, it sounds like they're being taken over by Balak and Balaam, because Balak, Balak, it seems like he's going to be the new Aaron, and Balaam is going to be the new Moses. Looks like he's water right now. That's what it sounds like here. It sounds like Moses is about to be pushed to the side a little bit, ain't it? Because you didn't hear nothing about Moses in this chapter. Man, I'm still trying to find that that part I'm talking about. I think 22. Hmm. But here it is. It's actually in 21, not 22. This is what I was talking about. So this was okay. In the end of 21, that's where they went to. That's when they approached Balak. Okay, here it is. So chapter 21, verse 33 says, and they turned and went up by the way of Bashan, and Og, the king of Bashan, went out against them, he and all his people, to the battle of Edrei. And the Lord said unto Moses, fear him not, for I have delivered him into thy land, and all his people and his land, and thou shalt do to him as thou did unto Sihon, king of the Amorites, which dwelt at Heshbon. Okay, so they smote him and his sons and all his people until there was none left him alive, and they possessed his land. Okay, so that's the God told Moses that, he's doing this for a reason because he wants them out. But in this chapter, it seems like God is helping them. So I'm a little confused here. All right, chapter 23, or excuse me, chapter 24. And when Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, he went not. Wait. And when Balaam saw that it was pleased that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, he went not as at other times to seek for enchantments, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel abiding in his tents according to their tribes, and the Spirit of God came upon him. And he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, hath said, and the man whose eyes are open hath said, he hath said, which heard the words of God, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, in thy tabernacles, O Israel. As the valleys are they spread forth as gardens by the riverside, and the trees of line aloes, which the Lord hath planted, and as cedar trees beside the waters. He shall pour the waters out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than a God, and his kingdom shall be exalted. God brought him forth out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn. He shall eat up the nations his enemies, and shall break their bones and pierce them through with his arrows. He couched, he lay down as a lion, and as a great lion, who shall stir him up? Wait, that was a question? He couched, he lay down as a lion, as a great lion, who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed is that curseth thee. And Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and he smote his hands together. And Balak said unto Balaam, I call thee to curse mine enemies, and behold, thou hast altogether blessed them these 3 times. What is Balaam's thing with doing things 3 times? He whooped his little donkey 3 times until the donkey was like, hey, you gotta quit. And now he's blessing, and then he blessed these Israelites 3 times. And now Balak is like, hey, you could better quit. Their time is to strike, huh? Okay, therefore now flee thou into thy place. I thought to promote thee unto great honor, but lo, the Lord hath kept thee back from honor. And Balaam said unto Balak, spake I not also to thy messengers, which thou sentest unto me, saying, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the commandment of the Lord to do either good or bad of mine own mind. But what the Lord say, that will I speak. And now, behold, I go unto my people. Come therefore, and I will advertise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days. And he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, hath said, and the man whose eyes were open hath said, he hath said, which heard the words of God, and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nay. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab. and destroy all the children of Sheth. Mm. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And he looked on the Kenites and took up his parable and said, strong is thy dwelling place, and thus puttest thy nest in a rock. Nevertheless, the Kenites shall be wasted, unto Asher shall carry thee away captive. And he took up his parable and said, alas, who shall live with God doeth this? In exclamation mark. And ships shall come from the coast of Cheatham, I don't know, and shall afflict Asher, and shall afflict Eber, and he also shall perish forever. And Balaam rose up and went and returned to his place, and Balak also went his way. All right, that was chapter 24. Oh, I've been on here for 30 minutes, but I kind of want to read this last chapter because it's short. Okay, I'm really going to have to go over chapter 24 one more time because it seems like there was a lot going on. It seems like there's just like a whole bunch of double crossing and a little bit of backstabbing in that chapter. You know, people are thinking somebody's one way and then they turn around and they do the opposite. It seems like there's a lot of that going on. Even God, the Lord included, you know. But I think God is doing this for the reason of, you know, like I said, everything happens for a reason. He took the Israelites over there to take over this place, and Balaam called Balak to come help him. But God knew that Balak was going to help the Israelites. So this is the reason here. That is, everything happens for a reason. It's all happening for a reason. Okay, last chapter, 25. And Israel abode in Shittim. Wait a minute. See, this is funny because in the end of the last chapter, they spelled Cheatham, they spelled it Chittim, but now they're spelling it Shittim. Which one is it? This must have been the a different author, because you know there's so many authors on this book. Which one is it? Get it right. They should all proofread together before they publish this book. Come on now. Okay, anyway. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. Oh, wow. I'm sorry, repeat. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. Wow, that's not very godly, is it? And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. Yeah, because what are y'all doing? Why are y'all committing whoredom? And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. Oh my. And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, and the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. Wow. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined in unto Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren brethren of Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation of all the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. That's another thing I was wondering about. I was concerned about Eleazar. I meant to say that in the last video because they kind of just they brushed him off. He watched his dad die, and the next chapters we didn't hear nothing from Eleazar. So, but here we are. Here he is now. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. That one more time. Back to verse 7. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. So Phinehas did this. But Phineas was like, man, this is for my grandpa, man. This is for what y'all did to my. No, I'm playing. They didn't do it. It was God that did. God did that. But Aaron brought that upon himself, man. He shouldn't have busted that rock open. He should have stayed in his place. Okay, anyway, and those that died in the plague were 20 and 4,000. Wow. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, hath turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consumed not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace, and he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God, and made an atonement for the children of Israel. Now the name of the Israelite that was slain, even that was slain with the Midianitish woman, was Zimri, the son of Salu, a prince of a chief house among the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianitish woman that was slain was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur. He was head over a people and of a chief house in Midian. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Vex the Midianites and smite them. For they vex you with their wiles, wherewith they have beguiled you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of a prince of Midian, their sister, which was slain in the day of the plague for Peor's sake. That was chapter 25, and I'm stopping there. Yeah, I'm really going to have to go through all of those chapters and just get a good study on those, because there's just so many people involved now. It just seems like there's a lot of people involved now, and I need to take note of who's who, who's on whose side, who's trying to smoke who, and which donkeys to trust. It's getting real. It's getting really real. So I hope you guys enjoyed those chapters of the Holy Bible. And if you do, please like, share, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend or a family member. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace and love. I hope you guys have a good, blessed day. Bye-bye.